Christian, and therefore she does not mind prayer, right? I mean, do you hate prayer?
No, I don't hate
No.
prayer, but that is not what we're here for.
Well, it is. I would like 2 minutes. I just want to offer an opening prayer as a
Oh my
Christian.
God.
I feel like
Okay,
this
go
is
ahead,
what
Ethan. Go ahead. If you
all right.
want to show your ass, go ahead.
Tristan, please be respectful. All right, here we go. Bow your head. Lord Jesus, following your example and command, we pray for Tristan today. We ask first that you would saturate our lives with the Holy Spirit's power and might. Send your love flowing through us and forgive us for holding on to anything that can hinder our prayers. We release our unforgiveness, thoughts of revenge or hateful emotions that can quench your spirit in our hearts. Then give us wisdom as we seek how to bless, to love, and to pray for Tristan. We pray for you to bless Tristan and to orchestrate events in her life that will leave her heart exposed before you. As you characterized blessing in the Beatitudes, we pray that you will give Tristan a poverty of spirit that recognizes her deep need for you. We pray that Tristan will discover your comfort in times of mourning and that she will be humbled before you in your way and in your time. We pray that you will show Tristan mercy before it's too late, knowing that we were all God's enemies before you extended mercy unto us, and that they would in turn be merciful to others. Lord, we pray that instead of lusting for pure evil, that Nerdette's newsstand would hunger and thirst for your purity and righteousness, become advocates for your justice, and that Tristan's warring spirit would be changed into peacemaking. Remove the facade of well-being, tear down her lies, Lord, that have deceived her, and hedge her ways until she can see no way out but up. I pray that you would show Tristan the futility of what she is doing, because in opposing God's kingdom and in Tristan's darkness, she is often oblivious as to the true reasons for her behavior and the resulting consequences. Reveal to Tristan any deep hurts or traumas that in her life may be contributing to her own destructive actions. We ask these things, Lord, and bless Comicsgate as you always have. Amen. Thank you.
Okay. So tell us, in your opinion, what Comicsgate is. I want a definition because it's changed a lot over the years.
It has? You think so?
Oh, absolutely. It started out as making the mainstream better.
Hold on a second here. How do I change my camera? Let me see.
Well, while you were
Screen,
messing
add
with
a
that,
source,
Echo
press
Base
A.
Network, thank you so much. Hail EVS, looking forward to getting my copy of Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. Keep up the good work and making comics great again.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. I think we're set. I think we figured it out.
Daniela, thank you so much. Hey, the AVS, pride is also a sin, bud.
Yes, it is. Pride is a sin. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you. What is Comicsgate? Comicsgate started out as a dispute between radical left-wingers in comics who wished to instill social justice in comics, who were intolerant of other views.
So are you
and
saying
those who
that
oppose
social
them.
justice haven't always been in comics?
That is what I'm saying. Social justice,
Okay.
as it is now, is a new phenomenon. It did not exist in the 1960s the way that it is now. It didn't. It didn't exist then. I know that you flatter yourself as social justice warriors to think that you were Martin Luther King, but you are not Martin Luther King, and you never were.
I am not a social
You are not
justice
Martin Luther
warrior.
Queen, Nerdette.
I am
You
not a
are
social
not.
justice warrior. Please
I'll be the
allow.
judge of that.
No,
Thank
you won't. Now listen.
Yes, I will, Nerdette.
Literally, Superman, his start was dealing with social justice.
No, it was not.
Well, okay. All
No.
right.
I mean, not in the way that you're like, oh, but he was fighting like guys, apartment managers that were charging too much.
Yeah,
He was
that's
pushing
social
back against
justice.
abusive husbands.
That
That's
is
not what social
absolutely
justice
social.
is. No.
Then what is social justice to
Social
you?
justice is it's collectivizing people based on their race, their gender, their skin color, their sexual preferences, whatever perversions they may be cursed with. Jesus, save them,
Wait.
save them.
Sexual perversions? What do you mean by
Yes,
that?
whatever sexual degeneracies, they may
What
be
is a degeneracy to you?
fucking children and animals,
That
whatever it is,
obviously
each
nobody's
other.
okay with that.
Well, I'm definitely not okay with that. I'm outraged by it.
Nobody is
And
okay with
basically
that.
what it is it's stacking these people up in a pyramid and saying, this person's very victimized. You're in a group. You're in a voting block that is a group. All black people are in a group. All gays are in a group. Now, what about gay black people?
Who does
Well, they're
that?
even more
Give
trouble.
me an example of a comic that
Social
does that, or a
justice
comic
warriors.
professional that does that.
Social justice warriors do that. That is correct.
Okay, well, then who?
What? Who
What
does
comic
that?
are you specifically talking about?
Who says I'm
What
talking about
comic
any
professional?
specific? Who says I'm talking about any
Because
specific comic
you're
book?
hyperbolizing social justice warriors. But
No, I'm
I
explaining
want
them
an
to you. I'm
example.
telling you what social justice is in this decade, what it has
So
become.
give me an example of somebody that is a social
Tristan,
justice
I
warrior.
think you would be prepared to give me examples because you
I
were
am.
Comicsgate not too long ago, and you used to make endless videos on this topic before you became
I reviewed
pink
comics.
pilled, whatever it is that you are. So
Pink
you were
pilled?
Comicsgate and you spoke about social justice warriors
Because I
almost every
believe
day
you're
before
bullshit.
this sudden change. My
At
bullshit?
one point, not necessarily you, but just the group in general. The idea that comics haven't always been political. No, they just have different politics than what you like.
Right. And that had
They
to
always
change.
have.
So social justice warriors said, "What there are different politics in these comics than I like. So we have to
No, you
make
said
sure."
that.
No. Before I
That's
said anything,
literally what your whole channel is.
yes,
Pointing out a gay Spider-Man because it's political to be gay to you.
I didn't say it was political to be gay to me. What are you talking
Then
about?
why is it a big deal to have a gay Spider-Man when there is
Why is it
multiple?
a big deal to have a heterosexual Spider-Man? Why can't he
It's not.
stay
His name's
heterosexual?
Peter.
Like, why is it
He
a big deal
is.
for him? Well, let me ask you a question. Why is it a big deal for Batman to be gay?
Who said
You
he
just
was
made
gay?
a video. You
Right.
just made an enormous video lying to your audience saying that Bruce Wayne is gay.
I
So
lied
why?
to my audience. I said
Yes.
in this Elseworld story, it looks
What
like
is
that's
your?
what they
Could
are
you bring up your
queer
thumbnail
coding.
so you could show your audience that your thumbnail says Batman is gay real big?
Yeah. I know it
Why
does.
is that
I made
news?
it. Why is that news? Because I review
Sure.
comics and I talked about the comic.
Why is that important to that comic? Because I read the comic and that barely existed within the comic. That
I
was just
showed
that
panels
was an
of where they
that
were
was an
queer coding him.
inference. That was an inference that was
Mhm.
barely there, Nerdette. And you know what? I'm not even sure it was there. Reading it very carefully,
It
reading
was
it many
very
times.
clearly queer coded, and that's what I talked about.
Well, that's not what you said. You said Batman is gay, right?
Yeah.
So why is that a big deal? So if I talk about Spider-Man actually factually
It's not a
being
big
gay,
deal. I've even said that
well,
in
you made a whole
I-
video about a comic book that was queer coded. In other words,
yeah,
barely it's implied, it's vaguely
right.
implied. You made a whole
Right.
video about that. And it isn't true. How do you like that? So
It's
it
called
isn't true. Your own audience is
it's
calling you out on that,
clearly queer coded.
calling you a scammer, calling you a grifter and a liar. I've seen
Nobody.
I've seen
Okay.
already the reactions to people who read the book and said, "I bought the book because you told me that I was going to get Batman enjoying penis in it, and
That's
he's not enjoying any
hilarious
penis."
considering that comment was there for only a matter of a few seconds in the live chat. So clearly you
saw
know
it.
who put that there. Yeah.
I saw it. I
And
went
that's
and
a
I
lie.
looked this
And that's an absolute lie, whoever put that, because the book's not out
It
there
is a
yet.
lie. It is out
Yeah.
yet. I just read it
It
this
is.
morning. I
Yeah.
downloaded it from Amazon.com.
It's out this
I read it
morning.
shortly after this gentleman read it. So you've already got people who are calling you out, sensationalizing homosexuality in videos where it doesn't even exist. And by the
That
way,
was very clearly queer coded.
if you say so, but it never said Batman is not gay in this story. It's
Of course
implied,
not. It's
perhaps.
implied.
It might be implied, but see, that's not what you said. You said Batman be gay, everyone. Batman is gay on Nerdette's newsstand today. And I would ask you, since you're so against all of this, it's not a big deal that Spider-Man, there is a Spider-Man that actually is gay. They're making a point of it. And the cover, he's like, oh, like on the cover. And it's really explicit that he's gay. You
Oh,
get
wait, you
a
mean he's
hint and a note.
flamboyant?
Yes, that's precisely what I mean.
Why does that matter?
Flamboyant.
There are queer people that are flamboyant.
I don't care. What I'm saying is Batman in that book is not gay. It might be queer coded if that's a
It
new term that
absolutely
you
is
invented.
queer coded.
But you
It's not a
sold your
term I
audience. You
invented.
sold your audience on this notion that Batman. No, Nerdette, I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to listen to me. By the end of this argument that we're having,
I am not going to be told what to do.
You will. You will scream
Okay.
the F word at me. You will raise your voice, and you will kick me off the show. You will do that.
Okay.
You will obey me. Okay? Do you understand? You're going to raise your voice.
Okay.
You're going to scream the F word at me, and then you're going to throw me off the channel. I'm telling you what you're going to do, and you will obey me. Thank you. Anyway, it's not a big deal to me. I don't care. I'm just pointing out that there is. I'm just pointing out that there is.
In the book, he is very clearly queer coded, and that's what I said. And on Sunday in my stream, I said this seems like it is an Elseworld story. Just wanted to give you guys context.
You unmuted my mic?
Yes, I did.
Just tell me that you want to talk, Tristan. You don't have to cheat. Just say, I would like to speak. I will let you.
I've said that 3 times.
You let me pray for you.
Yes.
All right. Lord,
oh my God.
Save this woman. Save her from herself.
I don't need saving. There's nothing wrong with me.
You need saving like nobody I've ever met. And I've never met you. But you definitely need saving.
How do I need saving, Ethan?
Lord, save this child from herself, from her own actions, her own shortcomings.
Oh my God. Can you stop with the God stuff? I know you're
just
trying to trigger me.
You don't hate Christians.
I don't, but it's enough. It's this like persona, and it's ridiculous.
It's not. This is who I am, and you know that. This is what I do.
This is absolutely a persona.
All right, so let's move on.
So let's talk about your books. Let's talk about your books.
Yeah, let's. Cyberfrog wrecked Planet 2. Today is the very last day to back the Second Chance campaign.
How did you lose 1,000 backers? And nearly 100,000 and over $100,000.
Where?
I went to your campaign yesterday, and the whole thing is riddled with asking for refunds.
What
and you haven't updated it in what, a year and a half?
Which campaign are you talking about?
How many campaigns do you have going?
Many. I've fulfilled 15
You had a Second Chance campaign. Isn't it kind of bothersome that people are ready to deliver and you have it in 2 years?
No.
It doesn't bother you?
No. Because Nerdette, this is crowdfunding. I asked for people for money so that I could make a comic book. They did that last time with Blood Honey. I made Blood Honey for them, and it's for sale immediately on our eBay store to anybody who didn't back it. Crowdfunding is not sales. There might be some confusion in your mind. Let me
there absolutely is not. I know what crowdfunding is because I back books like stuff from Merc Magazine that delivers within months.
Nice.
Like stuff from Jimmy Palmiotti that delivers in months.
Wonderful.
I'm just curious when yours is going to come out.
Yeah, by the end of the year. We're going to print at the end of this week, and then it's going to be shipping at the end of this year.
Why do you think you lost so many backers? Just
I don't know what backers you're talking. Where? What campaign did I lose backers in?
You started off with 3878 backers, and it went down to 2,900.
In what campaign?
I believe it was Wreck Planet.
What?
Oh no, Rainbow the Brood. I'm sorry.
Rainbow the Brood is sitting pretty at the same amount of money that it ever always had. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm so sure you don't.
Do you have proof, Nerdette, that I've lost 1,000 backers, which would be the equivalent of 25, perhaps at the minimum, $35,000? Is there $35,000 missing from that campaign or no? Do you have proof of this?
I can bring it up
Because
right
I would
now.
I would know. I mean, I would have noticed that happening. People can't refund
Right.
that
And you
campaign
would
without my
also,
permission.
it would also not show on this. It doesn't update that way.
Then how would you know?
Oh, yes, it does right here. Hold on, I will show you.
How would you know something like that?
Because it's right here on the tab.
Let's see. Nerdette, you're going to feel really stupid when I explain to you what you're looking at. Are you prepared to feel really stupid?
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm wrong, I'll
Scroll
apologize.
back up.
How?
Scroll back up. Scroll. Nope. Up to the top. Nope. The
I
other way.
got it right. I just want to show everybody the refund request.
Sure.
Here,
People
it's right
can ask
here.
for refunds. They can get refunds. People who are tired of waiting are perfectly allowed to have refunds.
All right, it's right there.
Yes. Nerdette, you're going to feel really stupid when you scroll up, back up to the top of the campaign, and I show you why you're stupid.
It's
ready?
literally right there. Yep.
I see it. That's a woman who's just as stupid as you. Surprise, 2 stupid women. Nerdette, do you see that the lower number there, 362?
Yeah.
That was what the campaign ended at in 2021. The
Oh,
top
okay.
number, 468, is where it's at now. In other words, I've gained $100,000, and I've gained 1,000 subscribers or backers.
All right. Well, my apologies.
So it's 2 stupid women, and they listen to each other, and they both come to the same stupid conclusion.
So how much then have it, for transparency's sake, with all these refunds, how many have you lost?
I don't know. Probably not too many. Probably not very many. You could go through and you could count. Might be 11 or 12. I'll miss them. They'll be back.
Why aren't you answering these people?
Because I'm busy with Wreck Planet right now. We're doing Wreck Planet.
But they
here
literally
all the time.
They are your customers. One of Comicsgate's big things was customer service, and you're leaving them hanging. Absolutely.
I leave no one hanging. Everybody knows where I am. Everybody talks to me. I show everybody my work every single day. I mean, this is interesting. It's a very cute, kind of thing that you're concerned about. But in truth, it's just a way of saying, I'd rather not discuss the issues with you, Ethan. I'd rather sit there and say, you have some customers that are unhappy with you.
Discuss the issues. I tried.
Scroll back up to your stupidity.
Discuss the issues.
All right, well,
I tried to discuss the issues. You kept dancing around bullshit, trying to bring up my videos instead of answering what Comicsgate was.
Well, your videos are bullshit. Now, okay. Comicsgate, what I just said to you was, Comicsgate is, or it started out as being, an argument between the left and normal people in comics, people who did not want the left-wing agenda to be the only voice that was heard in comics. And the left-wingers, the far radical SJWs, the ones that you're hanging out with now, are the ones who hang out insist. I don't know. Who are you hanging out with now? Who are your pals now?
What are you talking about? I have streams with people like Comics Elite. I have Sagion. I have Liana
Comics Elite are great.
Yeah. Okay. So how am I hanging out with some far left radical people that you name?
All right. Anyway, Nerdette, those people, those social justice warriors are intolerant of other views in comics. And so people who are outwardly right-wing are forced to make other choices. You can't be outwardly right-wing in comics. You just can't. So we've actually...
Bill Willingham is.
Bill Willingham ain't getting much work in comics anymore.
He's literally lighting up Fables right now. Would like to ask a question. CG has acted, if not claimed, that turning straight characters to LGBTQ is mostly a new thing. Can you two prove true or false? That's not really a new thing. That's been happening through the existence of comics.
You wanna give me a list?
Sure. Renee Montoya.
Greg Rucka.
Right, but that's still... That was like in 2004. John
Yep.
Constantine, Batwoman, Pied Piper, Moondragon, Mystique, Lightning Lass,
Mhm.
Brainiac 5. Do you want me to keep going? Colossus, Dawnstar, Firelord.
Do you have a list pulled up right now, and that's why you're going in alphabetical order?
That's not.
Do you have a Wikipedia up right now,
No, I
Tristan?
do not.
Yes, you do, and that's why you're
I
listing
do
them in alphabetical order.
not.
Caught you.
Okay, I what? Or maybe it's just because you're wrong.
What?
You
I
guys
mean,
are all
Nerdette, you're
upset
transparent.
about.
You're very
That wasn't
transparent.
even. Are you serious? Are you mad that not Andrew Colossus is gay in the Ultimates universe?
Yep.
You literally pretend like this is a new thing so you can bait an audience and mind wash them into thinking that
Like
this
you
is
just did
new.
with your Batman is gay video
No,
just
I
now.
gave my opinion on it. Did you listen to the video?
Yes. It was horrible.
What did I say in it then?
Yeah. You were like, Batman is gay. It looks like Batman is gay. Here are some panels. And there was a ripped page there. And you're like, and you have this fake cartoon image of you, which is funny. And you're like, and Batman is gay. And your audience was largely, your audience seems to be excited about that. So they went to buy it. And then they found out that you were wrong. Like Batman is not gay.
Nobody in my audience was excited about that. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Even people that I know are queer in my audience were like, "This doesn't make sense."
Why? Why wouldn't it make sense? What's the matter with gay people in comics?
Absolutely nothing. That's what I should be asking you. You're the one who's made a platform off of.
Well, I've told you my opinion. I don't think characters that weren't gay before should be made gay. That's my opinion. But see, you disagree with me ostensibly. You're here to disagree with me. So I'm asking you, why do you have a problem with Batman being gay?
I literally said if it's an Elseworld story, then
and
I don't
your
care.
audience does too. So why are you questioning me? I'm outward about it. I'm saying this shit sucks.
Then why do you have a problem with it?
Why do you have a problem with it?
I don't.
You tell me. You do. You just said you did. You just said that you and your audience is not happy with Batman being gay.
If it was
now you're asking me why I agree
it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I guess we're both right for once.
We're not even talking about Batman. What about characters that you spoke out against, like John Kent?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Son of Superman, bisexual. Please.
Why is that ridiculous?
Nerdette, I don't care. It's not. I couldn't care less about any of these characters anymore.
Then why build your platform off that?
I don't. I build my platform from Cyberfrog and Comicsgate.
Oh, you don't deliver them.
Yes, I do. Every
How many
single
have you
day.
Delivered?
Nerdette, we have delivered
old Nerdette.
We have delivered 15 campaigns, and on top of that, we deliver eBay orders
some of those
every single day. Every single day.
Some of those shirts. Were some of those action figures? Were some of those?
We're making everything. We're a business, Nerdette. We're not only doing comics. We're a brand. So we're actually making T-shirts, action figures, which are a whole fuckload tougher than making comics, Nerdette. It's a lot more work involved with that. We're actually doing all of this right now. Me by myself. It's just me and my wife. We're doing this right out of our house. We work very, very fucking hard. So isn't it a little
emasculating that people are fucking delivering on their product within months of paying for it when it takes you years?
No.
All right. That's fine. If you have no issue with it, then I have no issue with it.
No, I don't care about that. I'm not a customer. I'm not comparing my comics to other people's comics, Nerd. I've made it very clear at the beginning that my role is to create a
You do if it's comics and manga.
I'm sorry, what?
You do compare other stuff like that.
Wait, Nerdette. I just said to you, I don't compare my comics, my crowdfunded comics, to other people's.
You said you don't compare comics.
Not when it comes to delivery. I'm not sitting here saying these guys ship faster. I'm only interested in if people want my comics forever, and they do. Cyberfrog Blood Honey was done 4 years ago, and it's still selling. We still sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Cyberfrog Blood Honey books every year. So that's important. It's not important to just pump out shit that's forgettable. It's important to produce comics that people are going to want forever. A
But you
story that
can't
actually means
compete
something.
when you only make one book every 2 years.
Compete against who? There's nobody
The
even
big
close to
2.
my stratosphere except for your friend Eric July.
Yeah,
I'm
and
all the
Eric
way at
is
the top of the
killing it.
mountain looking down. Good for
Eric is
him.
killing it as a newbie.
All you gotta do is do what I say. All you gotta do is follow my prescription. All you gotta do is follow the path
But
that
he
we've laid
didn't.
forward. He did.
He didn't. He
The
did it
only
on
thing
his
that
own.
so did I. The
He
only
used
thing
his
that
own website.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he didn't follow your method and was much more successful.
Nerdette, he texted me for 2 years before he started this, asking for my suggestions and advice.
Oh, I
The
assume
only thing that
so.
Eric I'm sorry?
I said, "Oh, I assume so."
Okay. The only thing that Eric did differently than Comicsgate is Eric has a lot of money. So he saved up his own money and he put $200,000 of his own cash forward. Most people don't have $200,000 of their own money. That's why
Well, Eric
crowdfunding is
has a huge
important.
audience. Of
That's
course
right.
he's got the money to
Most
invest.
people don't have a huge audience, so they depend on people who have bigger audiences like me to help promote their comics, which is my other unpaid volunteer job within Comicsgate.
Thank you, Daniela. You can't compete with manga at that pace. You can't even compete with mainstream comics at that pace.
No, I'm not trying to do that with Cyberfrog. Do you want me to be sincere? You want to know what I'm doing with Cyberfrog? You want to understand like what that is? I'm not
Sure. Yeah,
competing
I would love to understand more.
okay. I'm not trying to compete with comics at all. Okay? This is part of competing with the culture. I'm not pumping
But
out
you're
comics.
not.
Nerdette, Nerdette, you got to listen to me, okay?
Okay.
I'm creating a big story, okay, that is based in my own values, based around my own values, my own ideas, my own thoughts that will become a feature film. And that's how we compete with the culture. It's not fucking with comics. The
A
comic book
feature
industry is
film
dying.
like a Daily Wire feature film or like a real feature film?
Well, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. You understand that the Daily Wire is doing exactly what I'm doing. You understand
Okay,
that
that's
like
what I'm
they're
asking.
independent of the mainstream. You're
Yes.
acting as though that's something that should be
They are the
ridiculed.
mainstream at this point. They have become very
Why do you
mainstream.
say, Nerdette, one of the things that's probably pretty frustrating for your audience is that you say one thing and then say the exact opposite thing, and then we're supposed to interpret what you mean. You said, is it a real movie or is it a Daily Wire movie?
I didn't
Implying
say
that the
real
Daily
movie. I
Wire
said
is
a
not.
feature film or like a Daily Wire feature film.
What is the difference?
I was just
They're both in
curious.
theaters. So what
I was just
exactly would be the
curious.
difference? What is your attitude? Are you like disrespectful of what the Daily
No,
Wire
I
is
was just
doing? You're not
curious.
impressed by that?
I actually fully expect that the Daily Wire will pick up some of Eric's characters too.
Why? Why do you think it has to be the Daily
Be-
Wire?
because he's extremely successful in what he's doing. And
Well,
I
why
think
would
they
it
would
have
see
to be the
that
Daily Of course. Why would it have to be the
as
Daily
something
Wire?
positive and they would want to go along with that.
Nerdette, what you're doing is you're expressing a snobbery, and you're afraid to say it. You're dancing
I
around it. You are. You're saying, "Oh, you're not gonna be in. It's not gonna be Disney. It's not gonna be Warner Brothers, so it's not real."
I
I
didn't
mean,
say it
that is
was
what you're
I said
doing.
I asked what kind, that's it.
That is what you're saying. You're essentially saying, "Is it gonna be Disney or Warner Brothers? Is it gonna be like Paramount?"
Yeah, that's what
Right?
I was
Or
asking.
is it just gonna be the Daily Wire?
Yeah, that's
So
what
it's
I was
not gonna be
asking.
real.
Because a lot of what the Daily Wire does is very politically motivated. A lot of
Okay.
it is there's no way you would see the Daily Wire team up with somebody that's centrist or
Tristan, you're
left-leaning.
still you know what? The problem with you is that you suffer from cognitive dissonance so bad on your channel. You're still
Okay.
Comicsgate.
How?
I'm explaining how I just demonstrated how. You just expressed a snobby, kind of snotty opinion about the culture war and then immediately backed away from it
The
and
culture
pretended that
war, I've said many times, is lost. The culture war is done with.
I've
At
heard you
this
say
point,
that.
and at this point, the only reason I say so is because
Because Geeks and Gamers doesn't get the views of a Disney movie.
No, that's not why.
You dummy.
Because anybody that comes out like your buddy John Della Rose and talks about homosexuality in the way he does are not going to be accepted by anybody that actually
what?
cares
That matters.
about humanity.
Hold on. You're doing it again. Is
What?
not going to be accepted by anyone who what?
Cares about humanity.
Bullshit. What
Bullshit.
he did was he said, yes,
No,
what he did was he said homosexuality is a sin. That is what Christians believe.
Not all
So
Christians
what
believe
you're
that.
just
The
saying
Pope
is you're
came out
saying
and is
nobody
okay
that
with it.
matters. You're saying Christians don't care about humanity. So I was right. Or the people who told me you hated
I
Christians
never
were right.
said Christians do not care about humanity.
You just did. You just said that like anybody who says homosexuality is a sin doesn't care about humanity.
I said, yeah.
I would say the exact opposite.
Why do you care what people do in their bedroom?
I think that Christians believe that God cares, and that
Pope
people need to get right with God.
Out and is okay with homosexuality.
You're arguing like with Christianity. You don't like Christians, just like I said at the beginning of the stream.
Right. That is absolutely false.
Then I want you to say that Christians are allowed to feel and believe with all their hearts that homosexuality is a sin, and that's
They're
okay.
allowed to believe it, but don't expect me to accept that.
You're not Christian.
I am Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think homosexuality is a sin?
That's none of your business what I think of that. I'm not offering that opinion to you.
You just did by not answering it. But you don't want to fuck up what you got going with your base. I get it.
Do you think my base would leave me if I said that I'm a Christian and I believe
but there would be
homosexuality
some
is a
upset.
sin? Or do you think some things are personal and I just don't want to express those opinions? How about that?
I got a super chat. Robert, thank you. Lightning Lass was made gay in the 70s. Jeff Johns and Brad Meltzer had Dougernst become bi. Firelord was bi in 1998. Jeff also approved of Gay Obsidian. Yeah, Gay Obsidian is widely accepted by Comicsgate, along with Midnighter. But he wasn't made gay until 2008. EVS, this is Echo Base Network. EVS, can you speak on some of your peers in the mainstream comic industry that you have inspired to leave mainstream comics and go independent?
Well, yeah, there are quite a few. Obviously, you see them all the time on Comicsgate Kings, and there are many more who speak to me and tell me that to keep up the good work. All of them, all conservatives and all Christians in comics have mostly been cowed. Now, there are some, I mean, every now and then, somebody like Bill Willingham, you're quite right, will get a job because nobody else can do Fables, and they need Fables because they're making Fables. And he put
politics into that also.
He sure does.
Eric O'Sullivan, Constantine didn't become Alphabet until Azzarello's run. Constantine became Alphabet in 1992, and that was to use his big bad crush against him. Is Jean bi or taking advantage of human weakness as often does? Does it even matter anymore? Thank you, Eric. John was made bi in 1992, though. I don't know if that was not Azzarello's run. Okay, or you don't have to say anything. Okay.
Was that a question to me? I mean,
there was a couple, but that's fine. So Constantine mentions being bi back in number 51 in 1992. I missed that. I read the original run twice. Yeah, that was another instance of like what we've seen in Batman the Knight, queer coding, where it was very kind of there, but kind of not.
But certainly not there enough for you to write Batman is gay on the thumbnail. Are you going to correct that thumbnail?
Yeah, absolutely. If that came out now, and Constantine wasn't
no, I'm asking about
big bad whore like he is
Batman
now?
the Knight number 8. Are you going to correct that thumbnail so that you don't get the sensationalist hate clicks? Are you looking for hate clicks?
What do you want me to correct about it?
You should change the thumbnail so that it says Batman the Knight number 8 has some subtle queer coding in it, and perhaps Batman might have some.
Wait, are you trying to honestly tell me
in the same sex
that
I'm just saying be
you
accurate.
Don't use clickbait? Are you honestly telling me? Okay, so then what's the problem if I do it?
Because you're coming at me and saying, why do you care about these things? I'm saying my clickbait is almost always 100% accurate, and that's the other thing.
Right, you made fun of someone's pronouns just the other day.
Always.
Doug Ernst, it's nice to hear from you. As a gay Catholic conservative, I denounce JDA. I would say you guys should check out Doug's work. Absolutely phenomenal
He's a gay
stuff.
Catholic conservative, and you should definitely check out his work. Nerdette, you're very smart.
Yeah, he does great work. I can't help it. And he's never treated me the way Doug has never been mean to me.
Oh, well, that makes one of us.
Yeah, I know. You have an issue with him. I
No,
seen
I
you
mean,
kind of
he
go
has-
against I seen
Well-
you go against thinking critical and be pretty shitty about that.
What do you mean?
You EFAP'd his video.
Right.
Oh,
So
that was
Doug
pretty shitty.
Ernst, yeah, I don't think so. Doug Ernst was exposed as using hate YouTubers like Comic Book Hut. He didn't like you either, Comic Book Hut, by the way. Wasn't a fan
I
of
know.
you either.
He
So
hates
Doug
me.
Ernst wrote most of his scripts, made his videos for him, and basically used him as a proxy. Hold on now.
That's what you were
Hold on.
assuming.
No, I seen the evidence.
I
Used
saw
him
the
as a
evidence
proxy.
too.
You didn't see what I saw. Used him as a proxy
Okay, sure.
to attack me and your boy Zach and others, and to basically do his dirty work for him while he feigned innocence. I'm above the drama. I'm Doug Ernst.
Have you
I'm
ever
above the
shown that
drama.
evidence besides some emails?
What? By the way,
Have you?
isn't that enough? You want
The
more
emails
evidence?
back and forth between friends talking about stuff that's going on in the industry? That's not exactly damning evidence.
Tristan, you're being very disingenuous. Those emails were video titles, completed videos, and scripts, and you know that for a fact.
I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, well, now you
video
do.
titles. Yeah, that's what I did see.
Now you know. So he was sending him video titles, edited videos, and ideas for ways to attack his enemies for him. And that's what he was doing while feigning innocence.
Isn't
and how
that
you
what
could
you've
defend
done
him.
to people like Mike Miller?
No, I do that directly myself. When I make fun of
Right.
Smiller, I do that myself. So if
So what's
anybody's
it matter?
responsible,
So what's it matter if you're doing the exact thing? How can you act like
I'm not doing
How
the
can you
exact-
act like
By
you're
the way,
better than him?
I want to say to the chat, do you understand how disingenuous your friend Nerdette is now? I mean, those of you who are watching this,
I asked a question.
I know you did. You asked a very silly, disingenuous
Clickbait
question.
is clickbait. It only meant to
exposed you as
attract viewership.
dishonest.
Does anyone does it thanks to the YouTube algorithm? Otherwise saying saying otherwise is hypocritical. Absolutely. Everybody uses it. Everybody uses it. So tell me, what makes you have the moral superiority when you attack people all the time? I don't even recognize, if I go into your live streams, any of the people, because when I was around with Comicsgate, all of those people have left your side.
Not Cecil. Thank God, not Cecil. Nerdette, here's the difference. I stand behind my words. I don't use a proxy to say what I want to say for me. So when I make a video calling you stupid, which I've never done, but I might, it's
you absolutely
me saying
have.
that. It's
You
me
absolutely
saying that.
have.
It's not comic book retard saying that. You know, it's not some goofball who is going to take the blame for what he's doing. I don't have to send some third party after people that I have a problem with. I say it myself. And all the responsibility for that, if I get something wrong, that's my problem. Meanwhile, Doug Ernst used a third party to do it while pretending to be clean. Do you see the problem? Yes or no?
I didn't see any evidence of that. All I seen was some thumbnail titles. I see how it is different. Absolutely. I do see how it is
Tristan,
different.
this isn't making you look good. This is not making you look good. You're not coming out of this. Why don't you just say, you know what? Yeah, using a third party as a proxy.
I literally just said all I saw was some thumbnails.
To be okay. I deny the evidence. I didn't see the camps. I didn't see the work camps.
Evidence.
I didn't see the work camps. I did already. Show the evidence
where.
Nerdette.
If somebody has it, can you send it in the chat?
Send it in. Nerdette, you're crazy. This evidence is already out there.
I didn't see that evidence. Do you realize I don't keep fucking track of
Then why
Twitter
are you
drama?
asking me about it? The audacity of
Because
having an opinion about something
the
that you know
super
nothing
chat
about.
came up and you brought it
Another
up.
reason why your channel is the way it is right now.
My channel's doing good.
Doesn't look like it to me.
Really?
And I would ask
got
your
22
sponsor,
million views last month.
yes, by copying a video of Amber Heard and adding no
Yeah.
commentary, and it's 35 seconds long. When you actually speak, you can't get 1,000 views. When you actually speak, you can't get 1,000 views.
Do you think I have an issue with that?
And then you blame other people when you lose a sponsor, don't you?
Oh yeah,
When
I
you
blame
lose a
other people.
sponsorship, you blame other people.
It's funny how you're okay with people going after sponsors.
I'm not. I'm
pretty
okay
funny.
with people criticizing hypocrisy on YouTube. It happens to me. It's going to happen to you too.
How was I hypocritical, Ethan?
You were hypocritical because you made a whole video denouncing the Punisher symbol and saying it's a hate symbol.
I didn't denounce the Punisher symbol.
I heard it.
I said
you said it's a symbol
it
that
was
only hateful people would wear.
Yes, by hateful people.
That's what you said, and then you took
and
money. You took money from a company making Punisher logo wallets and said, "This is so cool. I love the Punisher."
I didn't take money from them.
You don't think that's worthy of criticism?
No.
And if you didn't take money from them, why were you doing a sponsorship? And why are you upset that they're no longer your sponsors anymore?
I get a
because you get free Punisher wallets, a symbol of hate that only hateful people would carry.
Serious?
And you're carrying a Punisher symbol.
Let me explain this so people know. I got a sponsorship with a wallet company. It comes automatically with the Punisher symbol, and you get to pick one extra. I picked Batman. Punisher has never been my favorite character. Not a big deal. I said I enjoyed Garth Ennis' run. I think I mentioned Matthew Rosenberg and Jason Aaron. I said I liked those ones. Because I am not a fucking diehard Punisher fan, I had somebody contact the Punisher or the place that did the wallet. Doug admitted to me using Hut as a surrogate. Oops, I meant to unmute that. Why isn't unmuting?
So
well, if Doug admitted to it, I'd believe it if I saw the evidence.
Doug admitted to it.
All right.
By the way, you just lied and you said that Alpha Eagle contacted your sponsor, which he did not. He made a video. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this
and
to you.
Tagged it.
I'm going to say it doesn't matter. I'm going to say this to you. Your
it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Your sponsor sponsors thousands, uses thousands of people like you. He did not notice you. He did not notice Alpha Eagle's video. The reason why you lost your sponsorship is because you have 70,000 subscribers and no engagement.
Absolutely, I do. I just showed you how many views I got last month.
Nerdette. Your videos get no engagement.
Right.
Unless you're copying an Amber Heard Johnny Depp video for public consumption, your videos about your content get less than 1,000 views on them, and therefore there's no reason to pay you to advertise product that nobody's going to see. So they pulled you blamed Alpha Eagle for that. You called him names. You said, "How dare you? You're a garbage person, and you need to apologize to him for that because he did nothing wrong."
You're okay with people attacking sponsors, and I have a third party looking into it, so it's fine.
He didn't do that.
It's absolutely fine. I have a third party looking into it.
Feel free to have a third party looking into it until you get.
You're okay with people attacking sponsors. We get that.
He went to your sponsor.
Batman is confirmed bisexual, has 1.4 gay views at 2 days old. Yeah, I know, Joseph.
If I started promoting Hillary Clinton for president T-shirts, people would rightfully call me out on my hypocrisy. If I was getting paid to promote Democrat Party,
I never said I hated fucking Punisher. That's ridiculous.
That's what they did to you. They called you a hypocrite because you said Punisher symbol is a symbol worn by hateful people. "Quote unquote, Nerdette's new stand." That is what you said.
I said some hateful people appropriated it.
It's Nerdette.
It's right on my video. It's not that hard to see.
Be careful.
I said they appropriated it.
Anybody can embarrass you later. Don't be a liar in front of your audience.
Dude, if EVS created a gay Superman, imagine we would have real life hero-gasm. We're ready for your words, sir. Maybe then Doug would be taking it nice to E. Daniela, Umbrella Guy got his subs to the trial. Absolutely.
That's
silly.
Been his channel for 2 years. Yeah, no problem.
Yes, but he's continuing to make that.
He's continuing to make that content, content that people want.
And so is Popcorn Planet. So is Stevie J. Ross.
I'm not saying
so
don't do that. I'm saying if that's going to be your channel, that's going to be your channel. But then when you come
That's
back
always
and you
been my
make the
channel. I've
videos that
always
you want to
covered it.
make, when you make the videos that you want to make, people don't watch them.
People
then
watch
what
my
you've done
Amber
is you've
Heard content.
confused
People
the
watch my
sponsor.
comic book stuff. People come to my comic books
People see that you're
streams.
getting okay.
Evie asks, explain how DC is still around after June 2021. Remember
Sure.
they were going to go out of business?
That's not what I said.
Yeah, that's absolutely. You said they were going to shut down the publishing part of it.
That's right. What happened?
Yeah, so
what happened
they
in
didn't.
June 2021?
Nothing.
Okay, so let me explain that to you.
No, that happened in May.
Okay.
That happened in May.
Let me explain something.
Nice try.
Hold on a second. All right. In October or November of 2020, I received a phone call and an email from a guy who I know, whose wife is an attorney for Warner Brothers. Okay. And he said to me, my wife has been in several meetings with Warner's, and they're talking about divesting themselves. AT&T already is talking about divesting themselves of DC Comics as of June of 2021. I said, there's no fucking way. They just acquired the company. He said, no, they're already talking about doing it. And I said, that's crazy.
It didn't happen.
So
shocker.
I ran a video and I said, this is an unsubstantiated
rumor. You also
rumor
said
that
Jim
I've
Lee
heard.
was leaving.
Yeah, I said he probably is going to leave. Hold on a second. Let's one thing at a time.
None of which has come true.
Unsubstantiated rumor. Okay, which is all I do. I don't sit there and say this is true. I said this is what I heard, and people should know it. And then what happened was what? Warner, like AT&T, suddenly out of the blue, nobody was expecting this, divested themselves of the entire fucking acquisition and sold it to Discovery.
Yeah, they sold the whole company in May. Jim Lee is not leaving.
So Nerdette,
you actually said,
Nerdette, I'm damn prescient. My info was good. They were discussing their options of how to.
2021.
You're missing the forest for the trees.
Jim Lee's still there because in November of 2020, you said the same thing that Jim Lee was leaving. You also said the same thing in February of 2020 that they were shutting down. You said this and started this rumor multiple times, none of which has ever come true.
Nerdette. So anyway, when I said that AT&T was going to divest itself of DC Comics in June of 2021, which nobody saw coming, they actually sold the company to Discovery.
Everybody saw it coming. Everybody knew something was. Yeah, okay.
Zero people. Nobody saw it coming.
None of what you have said has come true.
You said I was crazy.
None of what you said have come true.
Nerdette, I'm not a swami. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm passing on information, insider information, and rumor that I hear. That's all. Could be true. Could not be. It could not come true. Could happen. Maybe not. But these are things that I hear.
But it happens like every 6 months with you. You also said that female underlings were the fault of the majority of writers of the issues at DC Comics. Female underlings.
Wait a second. What is this? Hold on. Explain this because you're not explaining it properly.
You also said that the majority of the problems at DC Comics were because of female underlings.
Did I say that about DC or Marvel? I think I said that about Marvel Comics.
Well, Cosmic Book News wrote it as DC.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Let's see it.
Sure. Hold on. It's going to take me a minute.
Bring it up.
You're going to have to give me a minute. I've got to find it on Cosmic Book News.
See, the problem with this is that you sit there and you make a prediction and you sit there and say, I hear, okay, that AT&T wants to divest itself of DC Comics. And then what happens instead is they divest themselves of Warner Brothers, the whole kit and caboodle, and
it's
CNN,
been really,
and then
really
people
good.
Go, but see, DC Comics is still here, though. They're still here.
Yeah,
and I say, I mean, was I close? I was pretty close. I got the date right. Pretty close.
You didn't, though.
I did. June.
No, it was
absolutely.
in May.
No, they announced it in May. They signed the paperwork in June. So I'm sitting there telling people about discussions that are happening at high levels.
That you were completely wrong on and got lucky.
All I did was quote. I didn't even quote. I just showed the actual message. How do you like that?
I don't
So I
think you showed the
the actual.
message.
Would you like me to bring up the message? I can probably find it.
Maybe after this.
Okay.
I just want to know what a female underling is.
Me too. It's most females. Most women. Right.
The whole thing is closing down.
Read it.
There we go.
Start at the top and read it.
I'm not reading the whole thing.
Can you read some of it?
Yeah, I'm looking for the okay. I say her in quote because anecdotally it looks like every department had people fired until they got to a low-ranking female taking over, and those females are scared. These are people who are inexperienced and not ready to take anything over. Where's the underlings part? Because I want to know
The word
what
underlings bothers you? Is that what it is? You're like, underlings?
I don't know what it is. I mean,
well, it would mean somebody who's not a full-fledged editor or assistant editor.
But that's not true because
But it
a
was
lot
true.
of the it was.
That's what
Ben
I heard.
Abernathy has been the editor on the Batman titles for years.
Yes. You can name one editor. You could probably name a handful of editors who are still there. But many editors were fired. Did you pay attention to the bloodbaths?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a ton of editors, a ton of main editors were fired. Ben Abernathy's still there, sure. But about 2/3 of their editorial team were fired. They lost their jobs. You know who got to stay? A lot of girls who had low salaries, and they were expected to pick up. Well, I don't know. They were expected to pick. I don't have names. I'm sorry. I do not have names.
You just blamed it on women?
I didn't blame anything on anyone. I'm just repeating what I heard.
Why don't you're just repeating what you heard? How is it that hard to fact check if there's a bunch of women or not?
How is it hard? I'm sorry. How is it hard to fact check if there's a bunch of women or not?
That are the editors. Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah. I guess I don't either, Tristan.
To spread rumors.
No, I don't. I actually get information from inside sources, people that I know, and I pass it on if I'm allowed.
Okay. All right, sure. If you think that's normal.
What's abnormal about that?
You do this every 6 months. Come on now. Every 6 months, just about for about 3 years.
So I'm sorry. Wait, what are you talking about? You do this every 6 months. Do what?
Make up these same exact rumors.
Okay. So Rob Liefeld right now just started talking about how Jim Lee was leaving DC Comics to go to Marvel.
You said that, what, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And said that was happening soon, and that didn't happen.
I
don't get how many times you have to be wrong before your audience sees it.
I don't know how many times you have to be completely inconsistent before your audience realizes it.
Name
just
it.
Like 6 or 7 times during this very conversation.
I can be
wrong. Hold on. Name one?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you care so much about Spider-Man being gay? I don't know. Why do you care about Batman being gay? Are you happy that
I don't?
No, we hate that Batman's gay. My audience hates that Batman's gay. Then why are you asking me what I think about and my audience cares about?
I was curious. That's not inconsistent.
Yes, of course it is.
How?
If we're the same about something, if we share the same views, why do you have to ask me what you already believe?
But we don't. You started on this platform of comics are now political. We have to make this change. Right. I believed the bullshit. Absolutely, I did.
You still do.
And that's my fault.
You're still making videos about Comicsgate style stuff. You are the Liz Cheney of Comicsgate, Tristan. Congratulations.
Like what?
You just are. You are a very silly person. You have one foot on 2 different lily pads. And you're straddling in between. You'll
Wait,
make
because I'm
sensationalist
centrist?
garbage.
But I thought I
sensational-
was an SJW. I'm very centrist. Yeah,
No, you
probably.
hang out with SJWs. I don't know what your
Who?
politics are. Who knows
Name
what your
one.
politics are? Who knows what your politics are? You lie about the Punisher
You make
symbol.
this shit up.
It's coming out of your own mouth, sweetheart. You could just
You
roll
just
it back
said
and
I
listen.
hang out with SJWs, but you
You
can't
do.
tell me one.
What are their names? Forced diversity? Forced perversity?
I fucking
Little
hate
movie
that dude.
pervert?
I called him out because somebody in your audience had an issue with it because I had a mega as a fucking mod and he
Sure.
was mad about that, and I said I don't give a fuck. That dude is a
Sure.
tool.
Yeah,
So who do I hang out with that's SJWs?
I guess nobody. You're all alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Kristen. Everybody's abandoned you except for your credulous audience full of simps like Robert Willen.
Everyone's abandoned me.
Seems that way.
I was never fucking streaming with you, Ethan.
That's correct.
I was never streaming with these people.
That's right.
So who's abandoned me?
Just some guy has. He's abandoned you.
He's abandoned me because I haven't had him on lately?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't make sense.
No.
So graceful for the charm and positivity shown by EVS, though his toxic interview. Please let him finish his thoughts as we are all learning. Okay, I'll let him finish his thoughts. I will. But nobody's abandoned me. What you're saying makes no sense.
You said the same thing to Eric July. What you're saying at the end of the debate with Eric July, what you're saying makes no fucking sense. And you were crying when you said it.
Just
saying what you're saying makes no sense doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. I just called you out.
You're the one that puts these things out there. You put this out there. And then
you're sitting there and saying, you said Jim Lee was going to go and he's not gone yet. Is not proof of anything. Me talking about discussions
2 years
that
ago,
I'm
you get
about.
to claim that rumor.
Yes, I'll put out any rumors that I hear that I think are credible. And I could be wrong. The rumors could be wrong.
You're always wrong.
I'm never wrong. Almost never.
When have you been right?
All the time. All throughout this interview. Consistently.
Okay. You said I hang out with SJWs and everyone abandoned me, but yet you haven't been able to name one SJW or one person that abandoned me.
I have been right this entire time, and you have been wrong.
So answer the question.
About what? Who's abandoned you? I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Or who I hang out with that's an SJW.
I told you, and you said, I don't hang out with them anymore. They abandoned me.
Who?
Which is what just happened.
I never said anyone abandoned me.
Hang out with you. They don't hang out with me anymore. Now, who's abandoned me?
Nobody.
And I say those guys did then, I guess. Little Movie Perp abandoned you, and so did Forced Diversity.
I have never hung out with those guys.
Those SJWs abandoned you. And probably
I have never hung out. I have never had Little Movie Perp on. I had Forced Adversity on once, and then I realized he was a fucking tool. So who abandoned me, Ethan?
I just told you who.
Exactly. You're wrong. You can't name a single fucking person.
Yeah.
But you can name some that have abandoned you, right?
I hope everyone abandons me soon. I really do. It'd be great.
Okay.
Micah Curtis is back, though.
Who? Oh, I know Micah Curtis is.
Yeah, he's back. I'll get Liam back eventually. I hope.
You gonna bring back Mike and all those people and apologize to them? Yeah. Remember when you
I'd like to issue an apology to Mike. I'd like to
made him take down something that said pride was a sin?
No, I never made him take that down. Okay. Why are you laughing?
Because I was there.
So you just lied to your audience and said that I made Mike take that down. I didn't do that.
Okay. And then you treated him like a child on your fucking stream?
Like I'm treating you like a child. When people behave like children, I treat them like children. I'm a father.
Oh my God.
I have children myself.
So you said something about in Eric's, I said something didn't make sense. What are you talking about? Specifically.
Go listen. Nerdette, what kind of question is this? Go listen to the interview and you'll hear him sit there and patiently explain to you one very basic, simple concept over and over again. And you go, but you don't make any fucking sense. And that's what you did to him. And the poor guy, I just rewatched it. I was like, I'm going to just listen to Nerdette. I want to see how Nerdette argues. I watched a couple of your videos And then I rewatched the Eric July. I mean, you tortured him, and you got absolutely nowhere. It was so painful.
His
And at
whole
the end
thing
of it,
was
you
the
said your argument
media, the
doesn't make sense,
media, the
and his argument made
media.
sense.
No,
He
it
was
still
doing
doesn't
just
make
fine.
sense. Don't race
Okay.
swap a character because the media's out there?
Nerdette, what he was saying was, in the old days, before there was social media and it was so easy to make new characters stick, there might have been a reason to do Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Hulk, She-Hulk. There might have been a reason to just do spin-off race swap characters because the branding had already been accomplished. And accomplishing branding and getting those ideas into people's heads is difficult, but it isn't anymore because we have social media. And as you could see, his character Isom took off instantly.
And
Nobody's
yeah,
even read it yet.
absolutely it did.
And it's taken off instantly. And why? Because of social media. Now, if this were 1963, how do you think ISOM would be doing? It'd be a slow build, wouldn't it?
Crowdfunding didn't exist in 1963.
That's right. That was his other point. That's right, Tristan. Go back and listen to that, how you tortured that man. Go back and listen to that.
I have,
you
I think.
tortured
It's
him
been a while.
with
How did
stupidity.
I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. You guys say race swapping and all of this
You
is
tortured
lazy.
him and you're torturing me. Can you
Okay,
please?
well, let's talk. Tell me about the ESG thing. Because whenever I get those comments, it's always somebody from your channel. So I'm curious what you think.
Well, to be honest with you, ESG is a very complicated subject, and I don't fully understand it, which is why I bring experts on to help explain it whenever I talk about it. I'm not really prepared to talk about it in too much detail here, but I don't think you're prepared to hear about it in too much detail. So let me just
I
explain
was just
to you
curious
the
what you
basics.
thought, because it felt like the Dunning-Kruger effect when I hear you talk about it. You blame
do you know what that
making a
is?
gay
Do you
Spider-Man?
understand
Yeah.
what you just said? You know what the
Yes, you
Dunning-Kruger
blame
effect is?
making a gay Spider-Man on ESG, which makes no sense whatsoever, but your audience eats it up. Absolutely eats it up. Thank you, Robert. So I'm your go-to example of being her simp because we've been friends for years. Well, just wait. I got an interview coming that'll disprove your crap.
All right, good. Tear her apart in your interview. That'll prove me wrong. So ESG funds face SEC probe over seating votes on social issues. Joe Biden is pushing back pretty hard right now against the fact that there is a green backlash happening with ESG. Now, ESG is used to basically ostensibly prove the sustainability of a company.
Right.
The sustainability of a company is based on whether or not it's adhering to left-wing philosophies about environmentalism and social justice.
Pollution and waste are left-wing philosophies?
Yeah, it depends on the
Climate change?
solutions. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it depends on the solutions involved.
Wait, I never understood that, and I'm being sincere here. How is climate change a left-wing philosophy?
It isn't real. It isn't a real thing. It isn't a problem.
Okay, you think it's a hoax. Okay.
Yeah, it's
all
not
right,
real.
now I get it.
It's bullshit. Right.
Okay.
Polar
all right,
ice
now I
cap's
get it.
not melting. California is not going to, you're somebody who sits there and goes, Jim Lee's never going to be fired from DC, but California will be under 10 feet of water in 3 weeks, according to climate change.
I've never said that. Never once have I said that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying it's bullshit, and you're saying, oh, you're one of the guys who thinks it's bullshit.
Well, I don't know enough about it to have a strong opinion, but I don't think it's bullshit.
Well, it is. And I ask my audience to believe something simple, like AT&T is looking at their debt and going, Warner Brothers is making it worse. We've got to divest ourselves of this company by next summer. And you're going, that's an outrage. That's a ridiculous thing to claim. And it comes true. And then you are sitting there believing, you're like, you don't believe in climate change?
It absolutely didn't come true.
It did come true. Where is Warner Brothers right now, dummy? Where are they?
Discovery.
That's correct.
Yeah, and they still have a publishing department. It did not come true.
For now.
For now? Okay, so we're starting another rumor. It's about that time.
No, I don't know. I haven't
it's
heard
about
anything
that
about
time.
It. I haven't heard anything about it. I could if I want to. I could speculate and say, yeah, it looks like probably the hatchet's going to fall again. But you know what? Don't ask me. You can ask them. They've been kicked out of their offices.
They're weren't kicked out. They moved. They had a planned move.
Who planned that? Did DC Comics plan to move,
Yes.
or were they told
They
to move?
moved to a hot desk-ish
What's
situation.
a
Yeah.
hot desk? So they decided
It's an
on their
open floor
own,
plan.
of
Yeah.
their own accord, to abandon their beautifully decorated, expensive 3-story office building, which looks like a comic book museum, and they decided on their own to trade up to standing
The
room
hot
only hot
desk,
desk
which
model
is
in an office shared with Crunchyroll. You really believe that? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
yes, I
You think
do.
this was voluntary and this is what they wanted, Tristan?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I've heard from multiple
California is going to be
sources that this was
underwater in
planned.
10 days. Underwater,
Yeah.
the mega floods.
Oh my
MAGA
God.
floods come November. MAGA
So
floods.
are you one of those people that thinks like scientific research is political?
Why do people think that like DC has any autonomy under the umbrella of Warner Brothers? Like they could ever choose to leave that office? This is a ridiculous notion. They were thrown out of that
And you are
office
the only
because
one saying
it
that.
has
You realize that, right? Everybody with
with what?
any sources that can talk to them, like Perch or even Thinking Critical, are saying the same thing I am because they know the truth behind the situation.
Nerdette. Under no circumstances does DC Comics, the publisher, have autonomy over at Warner Brothers. They do not get to choose where they're staying. They
Of
were
course not.
moved.
They
Warner
were
Brothers
moved,
owns.
but it was a
Warner
planned move.
Brothers owns. Yes, Warner Brothers planned to move them because they were no longer bringing in the money to justify the enormously expensive office space that they were singularly inhabiting. Do you understand? That's called being evicted.
You
Hopefully
realize
you
that
never
they made more
experienced
money
that.
this year than they did last year. They're not losing
I don't
money.
care. I don't care. They were thrown out of their office. I'm not going to
Okay.
argue that stuff with you because it's impossible to prove or disprove in this current
Right.
environment.
And you're the
You can no
only one
longer
that
prove
thinks
what
this.
DC. Then everybody is stupid and everybody is scared. If they really believe that DC Comics chose to leave their beautiful offices to go to a hot desk model across town while 2/3 of the staff was
Nobody
fired.
said they chose it.
You just did.
I said
they were forcibly
pre-planned.
evicted, and you said they planned to do it.
They weren't
What
forcefully
difference does that
evicted.
make?
They planned
They
to move
had
on.
no choice in the matter. They had no choice in the matter.
Okay.
So that would mean that they were evicted. They didn't get to choose.
You know what an eviction is, right?
Yes, it's when somebody who owns an office or
Can't
a
pay
building
for
or
it.
anybody tells you to leave.
It's when
That's
you
an
can't
eviction.
pay for it.
That is an eviction. And they're not
When you
paying for it,
cannot
which is why
afford
they
to
were
pay
evicted,
for it.
Nerdette. They were not
Okay.
raising enough money to pay for the existing office space that they were in.
Then
Sorry,
why is
it
hot
didn't work out.
desking more expensive?
Nerdette. Stop it. Stop with the
Okay.
coat. It was a
Okay.
budget. That's right. Budget downgrade. Horrible. I mean, just ridiculous.
Okay. All right,
Ridiculous
sure.
argument, Nerdette. And you know it's
Right.
true. You know what I'm
Right.
saying is true. There are a lot of people who are coping and saying, no, they weren't evicted. I mean, no. 2/3 of the staff was
You're
fired.
the
They were
only
removed.
person
I've been to their
saying
big
this.
office and I know what it looks like. It's beautiful and expensive.
Yeah.
They're not there anymore. They're in a hot desk model downtown. They have to share their office with Crunchyroll. They don't even have offices anymore, except for the execs. And everybody
Right.
else no longer has a
And it's a
cubicle.
hot
They no
desking
longer have their own
situation.
space.
Because of the a lot of the remote working.
That was a great excuse. Great excuse to do that and cut the budget.
Okay. All right. You can think what you want, but you're the only one spreading that.
That is completely not true. Anybody who knows anything agrees with me and understands what there's a lot of coping out there. No, it's fine. It's better. It's even better. It's not better. Nobody would rather share a desk with strangers than have their own cubicle in the big DC office of 2015. They just wouldn't. I promise you. It was a beautiful office.
Okay.
And anybody who's saying otherwise is coping and seething, and I understand that.
So everybody but you is coping and seething. Okay.
Yes.
That makes no sense. Everybody but
That's
you
what you
is
said
wrong.
to Eric July. As Eric July told you the truth, you said that makes no sense. Okay.
Okay. Everybody is wrong but Ethan. You guys heard it here first. Everybody.
No, many people who are not deeply invested and worried for their jobs know that I'm right.
I'm
Okay?
not worried for my job. That makes
No,
zero
you're just
sense.
no. You're just arguing with me for the sake of arguing, but there is no argument.
Okay.
There's no argument. You actually ended up agreeing with me again and then backtracked and pretended you didn't.
Okay. All right. Again, everybody's wrong but Ethan.
No, but you're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong consistently, over and over and over again.
About what, Ethan?
I just told you what, and you just ended up backpedaling and going, "Okay, yeah, I get it," but still, word different. That's not what evicting is. Okay, sure. Did they have a choice? Could they stay? Nerdette. If DC said, "You know what, Warner Brothers, we want to stay right here," would they be allowed to stay there?
I'm sure. I have no
Yeah,
idea. I would
you're
have to
sure.
ask.
Okay, right.
I have
So
no idea. I
everyone
would have to ask.
disagrees with me and I'm wrong, except you know that I'm right. You just don't want to face it. I understand that.
Okay. All right. Everybody is wrong except for Ethan. Ethan knows,
Just
and you have to take
because
his
everybody
word.
in the chat at this point agrees with me and they understand what I'm saying is right.
Okay.
Did DC
That's
Comics
absolutely
have the
fine.
choice to stay in that office if they wanted to? Yes or no?
I have
No?
no idea. I would have to send some
No,
emails
they
out.
didn't have a choice. They were moved. They got the planet, sure.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the choice to stay. They were told to move. They had no autonomy. It wasn't their choice. The really super nice office building. They couldn't afford to stay there anymore. They were evicted.
Okay. So
Right.
moving on. There's this and I used to stick up for it. That Comicsgate wasn't a hate group. That Comicsgate
Oh, good. Oh,
was
yeah. Comicsgate's a hate group now. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tristan.
no. Can I finish
Comicsgate's a
my
hate group. Yeah, go ahead.
If
Let's try that line of
Comicsgate
attack.
isn't hateful, why are you okay with big names in your fucking community hating on queer people?
I don't know. Who could you give me an
Because I do
example?
remember
Who
you.
hates on queer people? Who hates on them? Can
I
you tell me
do
who
remember
absolutely
you.
hates on them?
Yeah, absolutely. I can actually show it to you. I do remember you saying that you had no issue at one point with queer people.
None. Doesn't mean
So
I won't make fun of them. I will. And it doesn't mean also that I will accept
That you won't-
wholesale that comic books should all become queer and all characters should become LGBTQ.
Nobody said that.
You and you know
Oh,
it's very
right.
funny. So
That's very
hey,
funny.
killing babies is bad, and homosexuality is a sin, and homosexuality is a sin, and homosexuality is a sin.
If you want to get rid of the title of hate group, why is this something that's
So,
preached?
Nerdette, at some point you're going to have to adopt some consistency. You just told me that I was mean to Smiller for yelling at him about saying pride was a sin.
I never said you
And
were
now
mean.
you're
I said you
telling
made
me
him take it down.
Okay.
I never said
So
you were mean.
evidently, if I did, let's just say that I did make Smiller take that down. Why are you now confronting me with the opposite point of view and saying deal with this? So you've already admitted that I've managed this situation among Comicsgate in a way that would be agreeable to you as somebody who cares extraordinarily about LGBTQ people. So why are you asking me this again?
Extraordinarily?
Evidently.
Because I want to know your view on it.
I told you it was none of your business. I said, it's none of your business what my view is. It's complicated.
So then
family,
if somebody has this view on homosexuality and you're okay with it, fine.
They're Christians.
Why are you not okay the other way? Why do you make fun of people with pronouns?
Because that's stupid. Pronouns are stupid.
But does it affect you?
It's a trend. No, it doesn't affect me because I don't use them. I won't do
unless why not?
Well, I mean, there are cases where I will. But you know what? If you sit there and go, I am she, her, I will be like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And that's it. It just doesn't seem necessary to me.
Right, but I don't need it.
Why?
That's the difference.
When you use it, you're showing respect for trans people. Why aren't you using it? You're in a hate group. That's why Gina Carano got canceled. Because she's clearly a woman.
Yeah, and I stood up for Gina Carano.
That she used her.
I literally stood up for Gina Carano.
Why are you arguing with me then? Again,
then I'm asking your opinion on stuff.
You tell me your opinion. It's probably the same as mine. How's that?
Reese. EVS, you know you're my man, but Nerdette is also a friend, even though we disagree all the time. Why do you hate her so much?
Because she's annoying. Look at what she does. She's dishonest. She's disingenuous. She's two-faced. She doesn't have a consistent position in anything. She moves the goalposts.
Yeah, you haven't said
constantly.
An example of that makes sense at all.
Yes, I have. And then she says this doesn't make sense when things are clearly explained to her, and she does it over and over and over again. Why would you like someone like that? She's a grifter who changes her position based on who she's around. And I don't do that. I am consistent. I am consistent in everything that I do over and over again, no matter who I'm standing next to. Nerdette changes her position if it's going to make her money. And I showed you an example of that with her Punisher wallet.
How is it making, wait, you're inconsistent. You said I get no views, but now this is making me money.
Yeah. You got your Punisher, whatever, the wallet company to actually, you conned them into thinking that you conned them into thinking.
I conned them into thinking they approached me.
Because you have 70,000 subscribers that don't watch your videos.
At least 10.
And then you blame somebody else for losing that once it very naturally was revoked from you. And you were perfectly willing to lie about your
contacting sponsors.
I don't think he did that.
Nerdette channel is community rapidly growing, but go woke, go broke. Exactly, Joe to go. Thank you so much.
Are you woke? Did you just agree with him that you're woke?
We're making fun of you. This whole go woke, go broke thing is a
Nerdette.
Fucking bullshit.
You just said you were not woke. You're not an SJW. He said you're losing money because
he's making fun of you.
Nerdette, you should say
I'm not woke, fun of you.
Well, it's not.
There's no meaning to the word woke anymore. You guys have lost that and become exactly what you hate. By CG's logic and views, Monica Rambeau would be forced diversity today. Absolutely. Introduced with the Captain Marvel name, joined Avengers, led Avengers, all by Stern. Absolutely. Everything that I've seen come out of
my channel's growing, but get woke, go broke. But I'm not an SJW, everyone. I'm not woke. Why would you call me an SJW?
These things have no meanings.
My SJW
and what
friends,
is woke?
I don't have any SJW friends. But here's one that's making fun of you and saying, get woke, go broke.
No, he's making fun of you, Ethan.
That's what I said. I understand that.
Because
I'm not an
woke?
SJW and you are.
Okay. How?
And you just admitted that by just going, that's right.
Yeah, because he's making fun of you and it's hilarious.
No. Nerdette, he's making fun of me, fine, because I'm not woke. But the implication is that you are. Do you understand?
I'm not. I don't even, that word is all right, what is woke?
The joke at my expense was that you are woke.
Yeah, I know.
And that's why you're the bigger joke in that scenario.
Yeah, because we talk about that bullshit all the time. So
if you're not woke and your channel's doing great, then I guess...
Explain to me what woke means.
I don't have to. Everybody knows what woke means. You don't need words defined for you over and over again. Everybody knows what woke is.
Because it's literally means just there's a person of color or a woman or a gay character.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Then why do you claim that Spider-Man being gay is woke?
I didn't claim Spider-Man being gay is woke. I claimed the implication to make Spider-Man gay is woke.
Okay.
The people behind that, the people who've decided that was something that was necessary, are woke.
So if you placate to the anti-woke crowd, you are labeled a grifter. It is clear conservative channels are doing great now on YouTube and making fun of Ethan. I knew that. Yes, absolutely. Being conservative is beyond mainstream. Like, being conservative, if you step out of that line, you are nothing.
I'm just going to ignore this because it's absolutely ridiculous. But go ahead.
Well, how's it ridiculous?
Continue to lie.
How?
No, go ahead.
You can't tell me that conservative channels on YouTube aren't doing amazing.
You need to tell me more about how wonderfully safe it is to be a conservative in this world. Go ahead.
We were talking about channels. Mm-hmm. So YouTube channels are absolutely doing wonderful. Conservative YouTube channels compared to progressive
People
ones.
have to come here for the truth. Because they can't get it anywhere else. Yeah, they have to come here to hear the truth. Because they can't get it anywhere else.
You think you tell the truth?
Yes. I try to.
Like all these things that I've confronted you on are the truth?
Nerdette, you have not successfully... Well, I do that too. Sure, that's a service.
That's not the truth.
No, it's not claiming to be the truth when you're spreading rumors and say, "This is a rumor I heard." That's not
Right.
claiming to
But
be
you
the
do
truth.
it so don't say that they come to YouTube for the truth.
They come to YouTube for the truth, and sometimes they might come here to listen to some rumors and gossip. Sure.
Right.
One
YouTube
doesn't cancel out
is
the other. It's
dominated by
okay.
conservatives. There is no doubt about that.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's good news.
So don't tell me that fucking I'm a grifter just
You're
because
definitely a grifter because you change your position based on who's paying you at the moment.
Like who?
Like the wallet company.
I did.
Nerdette,
I've
for the
already said I
50th
got the
time.
product, not the and I didn't get paid.
You expressed
what you guys
two
were saying
radically
yesterday in that
different
live
positions,
stream.
and then you blamed this other guy, this poor YouTuber.
Oh my
You
God.
punched down
You
on that
guys are all
YouTuber.
okay with people going after somebody's fucking sponsors? How
Nobody
fucking
went on.
low.
You keep saying that, but that's a lie. So that's another lie. So he did not go after your sponsor.
He absolutely
he
did, and it's
criticized-
the proof is in his description, Ethan.
He didn't go
How
after
are you
the
okay with
sponsor.
that?
You don't understand. Stop lying. You don't understand how sponsorships work. These people deal with thousands and thousands of people. They're not looking at you. They're not. All they're looking at is data. They're looking at is if Tristan's sales. I mean, if Tristan's numbers, justify containing or letting her have a sponsorship, and yours do not. Your engagement is shit. That's all it is. This guy couldn't have taken a sponsorship away from you.
I get more views
The
than
only
you
people,
do.
no, you get views when you copy videos of
When I do
celebrities for
shorts.
35 seconds and you post them,
Yeah.
and they contain no work, no opinion by you. That is another grift of yours, and that's helped your channel to grow.
Wait. So
No
anybody
opinion.
using shorts is grifts?
No. Anybody who builds an entire channel that is something else, your channel is BreadTuber comic book commentary, I guess now. Anybody who
What?
builds their channel based on some content that isn't what they want to make, like you're doing, you're taking 30-second
followed
clips.
the
Here's
Amber Heard
something
and
Johnny
Johnny Depp
said.
before everybody else fucking jumped on it. So don't tell me I didn't
Tristan.
want to cover that.
Tristan,
Are you
didn't
kidding
cover
me?
it. You didn't cover it. You just clipped a video.
Are you serious? I was here every day for the trial.
Tristan,
I have been covering it.
Your 3 million
for
viewed video is a
3.5
clip of someone
years.
talking, not you.
So what? Everybody does. Everybody uses shorts. The quartering uses shorts.
I'm not gonna.
Yellow
I'm
Flash
not even.
uses
I don't
shorts.
even care. I don't want to beat up on you about this. I'm just saying. I'm
Then
explaining
don't say
to
that
you.
I don't get engagement
You
when
don't.
clearly I do.
You don't.
Comic books
Pull up the
saying
front of your
good things
page.
about comic books, saying good things on the internet whatsoever.
They don't care.
They don't. People don't care about positive stuff, do
and
they?
also the wallet company that sponsored you didn't care either. They don't care what you're talking about as long as you're getting engagement. You're not getting engagement.
Okay.
It wasn't this guy's fault. You owe him an apology.
You can cope all you want, but I had no issue with it until he did that. He posted it. You're okay with somebody going after somebody else's sponsors.
Don't be silly. I'm trying to bring you responsibility. You need to take responsibility for yourself and stop blaming other people.
Absolutely, you're fucking justifying going after somebody's.
Child. You need to take responsibility for yourself.
Going after somebody's sponsors. It is like trying to say that the quartering.
Stop saying that. He didn't do it.
No, let me talk. Do you think that the quartering likes his Raid Shadow Legends or his Leagues and Lords or all of the things? Do you think he is a fucking massive fan of all of them?
So now what you're going to do is you're going to tell me that you are promoting a product that you don't even like, right?
Are you serious? I said I'm not a biggest fan of Punisher.
Why did you
I love Batman.
Yeah. Nerdette.
Thank you, Joe to go. Grifting is posting YouTube clips you don't know. No, absolutely. Everybody fucking is using shorts nowadays.
A little. It's okay, but it's not the worst thing in the world, but a little bit.
And actually the algorithm has changed, so they're pretty much forcing you.
I don't care.
Pretty much forcing you to use shorts. And
Stop
even you have
dancing
done
around
it.
this, and let's try to
The
focus
fact
on.
that people had to subscribe just to comment is nonsense. No, it's not. You can unsubscribe later. It just helps with bots. But I'll remedy that when this is over. You the man, EVS. Yeah. All you have to do is unsubscribe. And it just gets rid of the sex bots.
Can we
The
just
fact that
focus?
you're okay with somebody
No.
going after my sponsors is
They didn't do that.
ridiculous.
You're
And
lying.
yes, he
Every
absolutely
time you
did.
say that, I'll say you're lying. They didn't do that.
Okay.
That's where
He
we are.
posted it. He put the link as
That
a
isn't
fucking...
going after your sponsor.
Wait.
That isn't.
So if
They
somebody
didn't see
posts
it.
something on Twitter and tags them in it, is that going after someone's sponsor?
They didn't see it. They don't care.
They did see
Do you
it.
think they're sitting there going, she needs to love the Punisher, or else we're not going to
No.
pay her? Do you think that's seriously the company's
No,
position?
that's not the point.
So what do they care about? So everything that this guy said was basically aimed at your audience, not at your sponsor, trying to point out that you're a
Regardless,
liar.
He
And he
literally
was right.
went after them, and you're okay with that.
You keep saying
I'm
the same
sorry.
thing.
You're fucking
You keep saying the
justified
same thing.
explaining
And I keep
away.
explaining to you.
Yeah.
And you're wasting
You're
your own time and
justifying
your
it.
audience's time.
Okay, fine. But I'm not okay with
I'm
that. I
telling
wouldn't
you the
be okay
truth,
with that no
and
matter who
you
the
want to
person
live in
is.
lies. I am the truth. I'm the salvation.
Okay.
I'm the light. You are lies and denial. That's okay.
Okay. That's fine.
But your
if
audience
that's what you
should
want to
know
think.
that this guy didn't do that. He did not contact your sponsor, and even if he
My
did, the
audience
sponsor
does
wouldn't have
know.
cared.
They don't
The only
have to
time
fucking
the
take
only
my
time
word
that
for it. They
matters
can
is
go look in
when
the goddamn
the only
description.
time that matters is when, like, somebody like Ethan Klein says the N-word or something, okay? And says something really over the top, like, that a company just cannot be associated with. And then they might actually pull their sponsorships away, Nerdette. But you sitting there saying, I don't like the Punisher. I do like the Punisher. It means nothing to them. It was all about your engagement. That's why
Exactly. It
you
was
lost
the
that
stuff they
sponsorship.
received through the fucking link. Reese, thank you so much. She was the first on the JD versus AH thing. It was a dirty move to go after her sponsor. To co-sign that is messed up.
He didn't go after. He didn't do that. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
denial. And it's also
No,
really
it's
stupid
explaining away.
because it's really stupid because it misunderstands how these sponsorships work and how these companies look at YouTubers. They don't care.
I
You
know
can be
exactly
talking
how
about
it is.
you could have a dog shit tasting channel. They wouldn't care as long as you got engagement. They wouldn't care as long as you got enough engagement so that people saw
They
your
came to
videos
me
and their
because
ads.
I was a comic book channel.
They came to you
They
because
do
you're a comic
care.
book channel with 70,000 subscribers that doesn't
do
only gets
care.
views when you talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. How much
It's
more
a
blatant?
very
How much
popular
more,
topic.
Tristan, you live in a world of denial. You have to accept reality, and you have to take responsibility for yourself and stop offloading
You
it
are
onto
ridiculous.
your critics.
You're explaining away going after someone's sponsors. I think that's fucking horrible, but
All right, I'm not going to argue anymore. So
yeah,
okay.
That's fine. Goodness gracious. Let's see what else I wanted to talk
It means
about.
a lot to you.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. And it's
It is.
disappointing because I've given that person made 10 different accounts to stalk me and 7 different videos
Critics
about
suck.
me.
Now imagine if it was Dougernst that was writing the scripts that stalked and attacked you. Would you be mad at Dougernst?
If I
Or would
saw
you be
proof
mad
of
at
that.
him? Well, okay.
I
Very
mean,
good.
I am more than welcome. I'm more than happy to say that's fucked up. All I would need to do is
when
say
it happens to you, but when it happens to me,
no,
that's
I
my
just
problem.
said if I
And
saw
Doug's a
proof
great
of
guy.
that.
Right.
So I was listening to your stream last night with Max a little bit.
Mhm.
And RJ and a couple other people were on that. You called the SJWs or whatever you want to say a cult or cult mindset, but isn't that exactly what Comicsgate has become?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So another thing. You said Batgirl got canceled because it was, I don't know what words you used exactly.
Just let that hang in the air. Yes, Comicsgate cult.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask about that. I was sent a clip
stupid.
a while ago.
Yes.
Is Comicsgate a political movement?
Yes,
How has it become that?
it always has been.
No, it hasn't. Not
Yes,
until
it
you
has.
came on the scene and took
Oh, well,
over.
then I gave Comicsgate meaning, and I actually brought it into focus. If it was me that did that, it's
I
always been a political
remember
movement,
literally people saying, "We've got liberals, we've got this, we've got that."
right?
What happened to that?
Nonpartisan. It's not partisan, but it's a political movement.
How so?
Well, we're opposing left wingers, social justice, and all of the damage that they're doing to comics. That is a political stance to
But you
take.
can't compete with them. I think Ripa can, but I'm not sure that you can.
Okay.
So how can you
What does that
have
have
it
to
be
do with anything?
because I'm asking how it's a political movement.
I just told you how. We're
Because you're
opposing
trying to get rid of left
a
wingers. But
political.
can
We're
you give me
opposing.
an example of who?
Huh?
Can you
I'm
give me
getting
an
tired.
example of these
This is
terrible left wingers in comics?
my God. You know, I married a really sweet woman who doesn't do this to me. But I feel like I'm paying
Wait,
for it now.
asking
I
for
feel like
examples is bad?
God is saying, Ethan, you've had it so easy.
Why
You
can't you
have to
give
endure a
examples?
shrieking, redundant ogress for like another. Okay, examples of what, Nerdette? What can I do for you?
These leftists taking over.
Can I give examples of leftists taking over? Okay.
Yeah.
Dee Dee Myers, who was Bill Clinton's campaign manager,
Okay, I'm
took
talking
over.
about comics.
Dee Dee Myers, who was Bill Clinton's campaign manager, took over Warner Brothers and hired Diane Whelan Nelson, who is an SJW, to watch over DC Comics. Diane opened the floodgates for social justice warriors, people like Andy Corey, who she
Andy
implemented as an
Corey
editor.
doesn't work there.
He was just recently fired.
You're right.
Okay.
So
Andy
people that
Corey.
actually work there now, I mean.
Andy Corey began to hire a bunch of other social justice warriors. Andy Corey formerly
If he
worked
hired a bunch, give me names.
Zoe Quinn, for example.
Zoe Quinn wrote
Ro-
one book. Give me somebody
Robbie
that actually works
Rodriguez.
there.
Uh,
Because he's a very talented artist. Didn't he send you his butthole?
that's correct. That's what
I thought.
SJWs do. They're apes.
I remember that.
I'm
No,
trying
I
to.
mean people that are working now. You don't
I'm
have
not
to
paying
explain
attention.
all the
I
back
don't know.
stuff.
It doesn't matter. I don't know.
So you have no
explaining
idea.
how it.
All right,
Nerdette,
go ahead. Explain.
I'm explaining how this happened. Okay, I'm explaining
I
why.
know how it happened.
Why are you asking me
I'm
and then
asking for
interrupting
names.
me?
I'm asking for
No,
names of all
what do
these
you think this is? What are you,
SJWs.
HUAC? You want names? Name names, Senator. Name names. Is this HUAC?
It's
You can
if
see
you're
the end
making all
result.
these accusations all the time, I would think you would know at least a couple names
This
that
is
are taking over the comic book industry right now. That
this
are
is
these
how
terrible
Senator Joseph
SJW
McCarthy felt
evils.
right here.
What's that?
This is what it was. This is how Senator Joseph McCarthy felt. Name names.
Okay, so you
You
don't
have
know.
a list of names.
So you don't know.
Tristan, I'm trying to explain
Okay.
to you in a linear fashion. Stop interrupting me. You're not impressing anyone. You're annoying people
Probably.
because you're interrupting me because you're afraid of what I'm going to say. And I'm not going
I
to talk
literally
over you
asked
in
you
answering your
names.
questions because this is important to you and not to me. See, you're
Okay,
asking
then
this
name
question.
names.
There are tons of SJWs in the comic book industry right now.
5. Jesus Christ. It's not that hard if
I
you
don't
have
want to name
tons of
names.
names.
I don't want to name
Okay.
names.
Right,
Watch
because
your
you
boy
don't know.
Zach's channel for
Figure
1 second.
drawing. Zach is not Comicsgate. Figure drawing. Tristan asked, do you think homosexuality is a sin? And you cowardly refused to answer. Anyone knows why you did that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't name a single fucking SJW that you talk out about. You realize
Your
that's fucking
chat's doing it
ridiculous.
for you, you retard. Your chat is sitting there doing it for you.
I'm not looking at the chat. I'm paying
Well,
attention to this
okay, your
conversation.
chat is listing SJWs in the comic book industry that everybody knows. Why are you pretending you don't know this?
Like
Why
Heather
are you putting me on
Antos?
this stand asking me questions that you
Heather
fucking know
Antos
the answer
has
to,
no
you
fucking
dummy?
power
You're
at
wasting
DC.
everybody's time. You know
Because you
this
can't
because
name a
you
single
were
fucking
Comicsgate
name.
before.
It shows
Because
everybody
it's
how full of
ridiculous,
bullshit
Nerdette.
you are.
It's
Max
ridiculous.
doesn't work there.
The idea is ridiculous. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
And
People are
you
sitting
couldn't
there
even
saying,
think of anybody till they told you.
I'm not here to sit there and name names. It's not what I do. I'm a comic book professional. I don't do this. I
Okay.
don't call out individuals. You'll notice that on very few occasions do I actually call out my peers and say this person is an SJW. I don't do it. It's what other people do. I don't do that. I talk about the
And you
overall
couldn't think of a
phenomenon
single name
of
until you
comics.
saw the chat.
Holy shit, Tristan.
Holy shit, Ethan. It just shows everybody how full
Are
of shit
you
you are.
listening to what I say? Are you
Yeah,
hearing what I say?
absolutely.
Now listen, shut your fucking mouth and listen to me and stop talking over me and hear what I'm saying to you instead of just talking and reacting. What I'm saying to you is this. I don't do that. I don't point out names. I don't accuse people. I don't name names. I don't go, hey,
Since
you,
when?
your chat's doing it. I don't do it. That's really not what I do unless somebody personally attacks me. Very rarely.
Since when, Ethan?
I might say Donnie Cates is an SJW. He is.
Are you joking?
Okay. I might say Donnie Cates is an SJW. I might say Tom King is an SJW. I might say Tom Taylor is an SJW.
Holy shit. That's an SJW to you? Oh my God. So anybody that doesn't agree with you is an SJW is what you're saying.
Why am I doing this?
I don't
John
know,
Della
because
Rose,
we were
are you
naming
watching
just
this?
talented people in comics.
Are you watching this, John Della Rose? Why?
I'd bet money most of the people listed as SJWs are libs, not leftists. Absolutely revolutionary.
Okay.
Because you don't like anybody that doesn't fucking
I don't
lockstep
talk about
your exact.
people. Nerdette, shut up. Let me say it again. I don't do that. I don't talk about individuals because I don't care.
You do it all the time. You literally
very
called out
rarely.
like G. Willow
Very
Wilson
rarely.
and Erica
No, I
Hendrick.
don't.
Bullshit.
Willikers. Give me a
You
break. You're thinking of
did.
everybody's
You
act.
made fun of her for fucking having pencils down. Don't tell me you didn't.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Pencils down was a whole different thing. It's not about individuals. I'm not attacking their work. I rarely do that. The entire purpose of my channel is to talk about the overall.
Your audience knows you do it all the time.
The
Quit
overall
playing.
scope of the comic book industry. It isn't to persecute individuals. It isn't to persecute individuals. That's what you do when you bring your critics on and you scold them and you blame them for your own shortcomings.
I didn't bring him on. He
I have a
called in
very
and
big
he attacked
platform,
my
and
fucking
me
sponsors.
putting my focus on any individual who hasn't done me any harm, but who's ruining comics, but hasn't done me any personal harm, is nothing that I really want to do. I've done before.
You do it
and
all
it's been
the
a
time.
mistake. I've done it before and I've regretted it. So I don't do it anymore. I don't do it. We talk about comics.
I can tell you the name of an artist. Oh, you're talking about Mark Brooks. I may have Mark Brooks on. I don't know. I was talking to him about it last night. Or this morning. Stephanie Williams would qualify as an SJW.
I don't care.
Okay.
It's not the point. You're sitting there going,
well, you literally say you don't do it, but you do it all the fucking time.
Like the Democrats in the 1950s. Name the communists. Name names. When it's clear communists have infiltrated the government. Name the names. It's a distraction, Tristan.
Anybody that's an SJW,
you know it's true.
To you is simply somebody that doesn't agree with you.
That's stupid. That's a stupid womanly thing to say. It's stupid.
Wait.
You're a dumb girl.
But then the name. I'm a dumb girl.
Yes, I told you that in an email. I said you're a very dumb girl. The things that you're saying are dumb, and you're not representing yourself well.
This is who I am. Why would I represent myself in any other way?
That is, how could you? That's right.
Why would I want to act like somebody that I'm not?
I try to be better than what you are.
Jeremy, Robert said Jeremy Adams nor Joshua Williamson are woke. Well, no, of course not. Of course not. There's no the fucking idea is just to create an enemy to sell a product.
Nerdette, that's really stupid. That's a stupid thing for you to say to me.
Okay. How? Did Scoob 2 get canceled because it was woke? Just like you said about Batgirl?
No, Nerdette. I got canceled because I wasn't woke. Okay? It's a stupid thing for you to be saying to me.
No, actually,
I'm reacting to this. I'm creating a fake enemy. It's just a stupid thing to say to me. It's offensive.
How are these
It's offensive to
SJWs?
me.
It's offensive.
It's
Come
offensive
on now,
to me.
Ethan.
It is offensive, Nerdette.
I can put up with you telling me to shut up and calling me a dumb girl, but saying that is offensive.
It is. It's a stupid thing to say. You're like, you prove that you're like, Scoob got canceled. No, I did, dummy.
Okay.
Yeah. So why do I talk about
You seem to be doing just fine. You're not canceled, obviously.
I have been canceled. My opportunities are now, just like you said, is a Cyberfrog movie going to be with Warner Brothers or Disney or Paramount, or is it Daily Wire? Didn't you just say that to me?
You made your own bed.
I did
your
what?
Harassment of Sam Humphries is why you got fired. And you told everybody that was because you went.
Goddamn lie. Where did this come from?
And you told everybody it was because you were a Trump supporter.
What? Where did this come from? The harassment of Sam Humphries. That's fascinating. Who
Sam
harassed
Humphries sold
Sam
some
Humphries?
good books. Daniela, thank you. People diss women for writing bad.
Every day, folks.
When all the worst comics were written by men, it shows that bad writing in politics isn't gender-based. Absolutely. Bad writers are just bad writers. So you're saying you didn't harass Sam Humphries?
You're fucking A right. You know what? Bring him here. Ask him. I'd like to see any evidence, any proof, anyone who's ever said that. He hasn't said that. So why is Robert Willing saying that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It kind of triggered you, though.
Yeah, very triggered. This is an outrage.
If it wasn't true, though, why are you upset?
Because it isn't true.
I guess that's fair. So you're gonna go with you got fired for voting for Trump, right?
That is right. Yes.
They brought you in the office and they said, we don't want you here anymore because you voted for Trump. You know that's illegal, right?
No, they didn't say that to me. They didn't say that to me. Would you like to see?
So then what did they say?
Let me show you. Here we go. How do I screen share? Screen share. There it is. August 14th, 2017. This is my editor, Mike Cotton. Thanks for the call. I really appreciate it. He just called me to talk about what was going on. The people from, what was that website that Andy Corey used to work at?
I can't read it. Bleeding Cool?
No, not Bleeding Cool. The one that's gone now. Comics. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know where he used to work. I didn't know he used to work at a website.
These people put together a campaign to force the issue that I was a white supremacist and a Nazi on DC Comics. They began to send things. They began to send people after me. They began to send things to Diane Nelson. And DC started calling me and saying, you okay? You all right? They were trying to be sold to AT&T at the time. Thanks for the call, I said to my editor. I really appreciate it. It's okay. I'm starting to see this for what it is. He was like, are you all right? It's a weird campaign to get me kicked out of comics by people who feel envious and powerless and frightened by what's going on in the world. I've decided not to tolerate being called a Nazi. It's weird that I had to think about it. But if DC fires me for that, it's worth my job. I will fight back, but I'll do it honestly and fairly and with kindness. I'll accept any consequences. Things are ugly. Things are ugly out there.
Not your
Luckily,
email.
We have comic books. What did you say just now?
But that's not the email firing you. That's them, you writing
This is
something
me
to them.
explaining what was happening all the way
Right.
back in August.
So where
That
did they
I
get
was not
that
fired via an
Nazi
email,
idea
dummy.
from?
What?
Where did that start?
It
Like,
started because
it was
everybody who
Andy
voted for Trump was a Nazi to these people. To who?
with
SJWs.
Andy.
To SJWs.
What I'm not victim shaming here or anything. I just don't understand why did he get that idea? Just because you were an open Trump supporter?
That
Is
is
that what you're really
correct.
trying to say?
Yes. Nerdette. Yes. I have acres of documentation to prove this. The idea that other people are sitting there going, it's because you were late. It's because you were mean. Does that sound
That's
mean
what
to
I
you?
heard. It was because you were an asshole.
Yeah. Right. There are no assholes working in comics right now, are there?
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay. So that's not the reason, is it?
I don't know what the whole situation
I'm
is.
telling you. I'm showing you
I'm
evidence.
listening.
People lived through it with me. We actually lived through it. The start of my channel. I started a channel when I just told him, I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to let them call me a Nazi. I know I'm going to get fired over it because DC doesn't like that. DC wanted me to be quiet, but being quiet would have meant that I worked for a little bit longer while they slowly labeled me a racist and a Nazi, and I would have no say. I'd have no
Can
way,
someone
no
define
outlet to say otherwise.
SJW? Religious nuts get offended if their first name has more than 4 letters. Is there more to it than their sensitivity? Not that I've been able to tell. SJW is just somebody that doesn't agree with the right-wing politics.
SJWs are radical left-wing activists that tolerate zero dissent, zero disagreement. Their job, as they see it, is to infiltrate all forms of media and pop culture and bend them towards social justice because they've decided that politics flows downstream from this kind of pop culture. So they've decided that anybody who opposes them needs to go. They utilize cancel culture to remove obstacles. SJWs are everywhere now. They're in every single avenue of pop culture, every hobby, every workspace. They dominate
But you
HR.
can't
They take
name
over.
any. Oh my god. Okay.
I have named many of them, and so
You
has your
named
chat, and
Tom
it's
Taylor.
ridiculous.
You named
Tom
Tom Taylor
Taylor. Tom Taylor
and
tried
Tom
to
King.
cancel Jay Lee for doing a Cyber Frog cover.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Or that was
Ethan
Tom
admitted
King. It
in
was
his
Tom
own
King who did
stream
that.
that he slacked on his work because he didn't get Batman. He felt entitled to. That's the main reason why your
That
contract
is
wasn't
not
renewed.
true. That is a lie. Where does that come from?
I have
That
no
is not
idea.
true at all.
So you're saying that you
Vicky,
weren't
you're
upset
a
about getting.
liar, and you're you're fucking Vicky. You're nuts. No. In 2011, I stopped working, which I was entitled to do, to go work at conventions. I was upset that I didn't get to do Blackest Night. I got to do Flash Rebirth, and
So
then I
that
said,
is
I'm kind of
true.
out of it. No, it is not true, because in 2013, 2014, I started to work and was monthly. I was producing monthly comics for DC. From 2014 all the way to 2017, I was doing 8 or 9 books a month for them. No complaints. If I want to take off, I can take off. I wasn't late.
Why did you slack then?
I just felt like it. I was in a bad mood. I didn't
So that had
slack.
nothing
I
to do
just
with
stopped
it.
working. I just said I'm not doing any projects. That's not
Vicky,
slacking.
you should send that to me.
Send the clip. Send it.
I just think it's funny how the stories change, but you can't. You name
The
people that
story
are
has always been consistent. You can
that you
it's
got
all
fired because you're a
documented
Trump
on my
supporter,
channel.
which is illegal.
No, I
There's
didn't get
got to be another
fired.
reason. Or
Kristen,
at least some
all right,
other
can I explain?
reason they
Will you
actually gave you.
stop talking and let me explain? Let me explain it and listen. It isn't getting fired. Nobody fired me. I was never an employee. It wasn't
Your
because I was a
contract
Trump.
wasn't renewed.
Correct. It
Okay.
wasn't because I was a Trump supporter. Okay, that's not what was going on. Social justice warriors. Hold on. That's not why DC didn't renew my contract. DC didn't renew my contract because social justice warriors were pressuring them through the media to answer for lies about me. DC doesn't want to get out there and go, we don't think he's a Nazi. They don't want to, not when they're trying to be sold to AT&T. They said, we're not going to renew your contract. They said, come back in about 6 months. That's what they said to me.
So this whole time, you've been telling people you got fired. Your contract just wasn't renewed.
never, in fact, I refuse to say that I got fired.
These extremists sound like keyboard warriors. I'm sure there was serious harassment. Happens a lot, but where's the evidence of DC firing you? He didn't get fired. He just admitted it.
It's not firing. It's we're not going to renew your contract. We have no work for you. Right.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys all for coming out. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate your time,
pleasure.
even if we disagree. I do appreciate your time. And we will see you guys next time.